What's up, guys? Welcome to Chiefs Chat, episode 50. And you know what, guys? I'm a little upset right now. Just not having a great day. Because I woke up, got myself some toast, made myself a nice glass of milk, and then I realized, I looked at my phone for a quick second, and found out that the Chiefs have officially released Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. It's just a little upsetting, it doesn't make me happy. It just kind of upsets me a little bit, and as a Chiefs fan, you never want to hear stuff like that, these guys were fantastic. Eric Fisher, number 1 overall draft pick in 2012 for the Chiefs, he's been amazing. He's just been a fantastic player. And then Mitchell Schwartz, aside from this year, he's been a very, very solid, consistent, healthy player in the offensive line. I'm just not happy that these two guys have been released by the Chiefs. But you know what? I gotta take a step back here and think about this rationally, because at the end of the day, Brett Veach made this decision for a reason. Before he released these two guys, the Chiefs cap space wasn't looking too good. We had negative $20 million in cap space. And after releasing these two guys, we got negative $6 million. So we're still in the hole quite a bit. So, we might, you can expect that the Chiefs are going to release somebody else, or maybe trade somebody else to try and free up some cap space. Maybe restructure a couple of deals. I don't know, man, but things aren't looking good. Something like this was going to happen at some point. It's just tough that it had to happen to the offensive line, because these guys were so good. We saw the impact that Eric Fisher made in the playoffs last year. Going down in the AFC Championship game, and then not being available for the Super Bowl really hurt our offensive line. Clearly, reshifted the entire line. It just wasn't good. Wasn't pretty. And Mitchell Schwartz, he's been out pretty much all season. I think week 5 is when he went down, and he's been out ever since. So you know what, man? Yeah, I can look at this rationally, and I can really understand why he might have made this decision, because these two guys, we really needed them last year, and they, unfortunately, it's not their fault, but they just couldn't stay healthy. And so, you know what? Free some cap space, get rid of those two players, and you know what? It's time. It is now time to restructure this offensive line. It's time to rebuild the entire line. I mean, maybe not Kalichi Osemele, I'd like to keep him on the team, but almost every other position on the offensive line, I think, needs to be changed. I think Austin Ryder, he's making a lot of money. I don't think we're going to keep him. I think this is more evidence towards us keeping Sammy Watkins, because getting rid of those guys means that we're trying to keep somebody else who's making a lot of money here. Maybe Anthony Hitchens, could be any one of those guys. Maybe Frank Clark. I don't know. They're obviously trying, just in a situation here where they're just kind of having to pick and choose who they want to keep and who they want to stay, because we just don't have money. We just have too many good players. We got to pay so many guys, it's just tough. But you know what? As a Chiefs fan, I can sit back and recognize that something like this had to happen at some point. I wish it could have been somebody else. I wish we didn't have to deal with this. But it is what it is, man. It just is what it is. The NFL has a cap space. I mean, there's a limit to how much money you can throw at players. That's just how it is, okay? But anyway, let's talk about what this offensive line needs to do. At this point, we lost our 2 best offensive linemen. We need tackles. We got to go after somebody in the draft. In my personal opinion, I think we should go after Rashaan Slater. He's easily the best offensive lineman in the draft. If we have to trade up, I want to do it, okay? Maybe throw Frank Clark in that deal. He's making a lot of money, and he's a very, very solid player. Give him to one of those higher up teams, trade up, get Rashaan Slater. I'm all for that transaction right there. I love Frank Clark. I mean, you guys know I love me some Shark. But he's making a lot of money, and he's been hurt quite a bit. I would not be upset with that transaction at all. Rashaan Slater is fantastic. I mean, I saw a video of him on Instagram, bench pressing. I don't even know how much weight it is. I obviously have nothing. I have no knowledge at all in the weight room. But you know what? He was doing great. I mean, he was fantastic. This guy, easily the best offensive line in the draft. We need to go after him. Maybe pick up a couple of free agents. That would be great. We've got to do something at this point. It's tough to really think about what we're going to need to do to get this offensive line back to where it was at the beginning of this season, in my opinion, because that was when our offensive line was at its peak performance. In that Week 1 game against the Texans, we were fantastic. Because we had everybody healthy. They were all playing great. And you know what? That's just not how it is now. It just, unfortunately, that group of guys were very, very quickly destroyed. So here we are, man, and at this point, we are still a Super Bowl contending team, so we need to try and find guys who are ready to perform in the playoffs, because I don't know, as good as Rashaan Slater might be, I don't know if I trust a 20-year-old rookie to really perform and execute in the playoffs. I mean, I saw him, slow down Chase Young back when they played college football. He was doing fantastic, but this is a different league. You've got to step up and do some great things, especially when you're on a Super Bowl contending squad. So it's tough, it's a tough, very, very difficult situation that we're in. But all we can really do right now is appreciate and thank Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz for the contributions they made to this football team, because they did quite a lot. And you know what? We just got to look forward. And we really got to rebuild this offensive line. You know what? I'm here for it, okay? You guys know I'm here for it. I'm always going to be a Chiefs fan. And I know we can do it, okay? I know Brett Veach is fantastic at drafting players, making some off-season moves to really get this offensive line where it needs to be. And I'm here for it, okay? Let's get it done. Let's get it done, Brett Veach. We can do it, okay? And, aside from that, the cap space issue is still a problem. Frank Clark, like I said, making $25 million. Patrick Mahomes is making $24 right now. His deal hasn't entirely kicked in yet. You also got guys like Anthony Hitchens making $10 million. A lot of people think he needs to go, but I think he's one of the more underrated players on the team. I think he's fantastic. I think losing him wouldn't be a good thing. And, these players, these guys that I'm listing right now, they weren't the players that Brett Veach decided to get rid of. He could have easily chosen them over Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher, but you know what? Like I said, picking and choosing, you got to decide who to keep. You got to decide who goes, because that's where we're at right now with this Chiefs football team. Frank Clark and Anthony Hitchens, those guys, they can feel safe knowing that they're still on the football team, and they can be happy that they know Brett Veach, he wanted to keep you. You guys are very, very valuable players. Obviously, everybody on this list is valuable, but that's the problem here. I mean, we got to give them money. They deserve money. We just don't have that much money to give. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. You know what? Let's just trade Patrick Mahomes, clear up a lot of cap space. Just kidding. We're not going to do that. I'd be willing to give Patrick Mahomes $800,000 million if that's what it took to keep him on the squad. But you know what? Anthony Hitchens, maybe throw him in the deal. Maybe if they would take him over Frank Clark. Obviously, Frank Clark, I think, makes a better impact on the defense. But Anthony Hitchens is kind of that really, really good, solid guy, calling out plays, being the captain on that defense, just doing a great job. Austin Ryder also is a guy that I think, I don't know if I've mentioned it already, but I think is a guy that we're probably going to end up getting rid of. He's making quite a lot of money. He's a guy I think potentially we might have to say goodbye to. And I'd be all for that, to be honest, because I feel like the only guy at this point we really want to stay on this Chiefs football team on the offensive line is Kalichi Oselny. Everybody else, I'm sorry. Bye. So yeah, that's where the Chiefs football team is at. Let me know how you guys reacted to this, to this news in the comments down below. I love hearing your guys' input, and you know what? I'll see you guys in the next Chiefs chat. Peace out.